2 of these fit on here?
Actually, yes, you're right. They will. We just have to.
But we kind of get the Radiohead out of there.
Yeah, fuck that. It's only my favorite album of all time.
Thank you. I'm a Radiohead person too. That album in particular,
Yeah,
especially.
dude. I mean, it's a classic. We can have it kind of.
Yeah, cattywampus.
Marquise cattywampus.
Well, this is great too because I think the album probably most comparable to our record is Blonde.
It really is our Blonde, you know?
Yeah, it really is our Blonde.
Yeah. Is it life changing?
In the same way that he like said like fuck a record label, we were like, wow, we actually have a record label. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. You guys are your own record label.
Exactly.
Like, what if we put
Exactly.
it? You're not. Are you on a record label?
This
yeah,
one's being
this
put
one
out
is.
by Cloud Recordings and Science Project Records.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing. What's that experience been like?
It's been good. Cloud Recordings is John Fernandes from Olivia Tremor Control and Circulatory System. Very, very talented musician in town. Plays the clarinet with us. He's actually playing all the release shows coming up at the 40 Watt and at Boggs and at Low Yo-Yo, all in 2 weeks.
Whoa.
So he plays with us, but he's putting it out on his label and helping distribute it. And then Cash Carter, who was with Kindercore and now does a bunch of other stuff, got helped with the pressing and getting it made, and that's Science Project Records, which has been like his kind of project for the last 30 years or whatever.
Yeah. That's sick, man. I have recently got into Olivia Tremor Control, and they like I had no idea when Spotify suggested them to me that they were like an iconic Athens band.
Yeah, totally.
How did you get connected with them?
We both had probably done sound for John maybe 10 times.
Oh, okay.
And just like knew him from around town. And Will and I had worked on this record for a really long time, and I wanted to do it right because we've just constantly learned more and more about putting shit out.
Totally.
So I wanted to do it right, and I was thinking about people around town that I really respect and admire, and would love to work with, and John was like way up there, and so we met at the Grit and ate some tofu wraps and talked about it, and he's been a huge help, and playing with him's awesome.
Yeah, it's really fun. He's just like such a good, he has such a good energy on stage. I feel like it makes me happy to just be on stage with him.
Yeah.
He loves dancing, and like he's always having a good time with it.
Yeah.
Is he only playing the clarinet when he's up there, or is he switching around?
He does clarinet with us, but he probably plays, I don't know.
I
I want to say a dozen,
Yeah.
but
Right.
I might be undershooting him there. But we did a record store tour when we got our vinyl, which was a couple months ago, and John did most of those dates with us, and he opened, and his solo set is awesome.
Okay.
Because it's like a looped ambient clarinet like set, and John would start playing these like motifs and like layering on this stuff with the clarinet, and everyone would kind of be like scratching their head a little bit, and then he would like fuck it up and like make it all crazy, and then start walking around the
just like occupies the full space.
like walk like
where
we
the
played
performance is.
downtown outside Wuck Street, like on that roof
Yeah,
up there,
that one
and
was
he was
really
just like
cool.
walking around the block, like improvising over his own loop,
Yeah.
and like just like sucking
cool.
people into the show.
Yeah, there's just a bunch of like strangers walking by that were all just like,
oh,
what
we're gonna
is-
check out
yeah,
what's
what
up
is
with
going
this.
on right now?
Yeah, he's really commanding the
Yeah,
space
totally.
by doing. I mean,
Which is funny,
imagine
too,
having that
because, like,
confidence.
he's like the sweetest dude ever. I wouldn't describe him as commanding. So it is kind of like ironic that his performance art is like
It's
very commanding.
definitely
Yeah.
It grabs your attention and like it pulls you in, and it's awesome.
It's funny how people can have that juxtaposition. I mean, something about being on stage or being in a performance mode can make somebody be completely the opposite of
totally.
who they are in normal life, which I feel like is some of the magic of, not to get too earnest already, but some of the magic in playing music and playing for other people.
Yeah.
the magic's in the music and the music's in the moment.
Let
And
the
therefore-
music.
That's the alliteration of today. Ad Nauseam, Telemarket, the new album is coming out soon. Thank you for bringing it over so that we could display it here. I appreciate you gifting me this amazing new album that I only know 3 songs off of because those are the only 3 that are out, but I'm going to listen to the rest of this tonight. I personally am a huge fan of Who's in My Room Last Night. That song is awesome. And I want to get down to, the writing and the recording process behind this album. Where did you start, and how long did it take to, from start to finish, get the product that you were hoping for?
Yeah, well, I think with the writing, we had this is the second release that Will and I have really put our heads together. We've lived together for probably 5 years now, something like that.
It's been a long time.
We used to live on Vine Street, and we had a bedroom studio there and stuff like that. And we made our first EP there, or Telemarket second EP, the first EP that we made together there. Called You Deserve a Hard Day's Work After a Long Night's Rest.
Yeah, I love that title.
Yeah, I
Thanks.
love that title too.
So we wrapped that up, and we were just being roommates in our mid-20s, and just having a good time doing house shows and stuff. But I started to write some songs about being anxious and feeling a little, I don't know, stuck in a rut and stuff like that. And this was probably 2019. Our house got broken into, which is what
Oh my God.
Who Was in My Room Last Night is about.
Whoa.
Our house getting broken into.
The music video makes so much sense now.
Yeah. So, there was a lot of uncertainty bubbling up, and just didn't feel, it was just writing. I had written maybe 3 or 4 songs that were a little bit just I'm kind of anxious, and what do I do with this energy? And then COVID happened, and we moved into a different house. And that all skyrocketed.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And the house we moved into had a fully built out studio that I think David Blackman is his name, from Widespread Panic. He played the fiddle.
That's the alleged
Panic.
the alleged backstory, at least.
Yeah.
We're not completely sure. But.
Built out the basement, and so now we all of a sudden had this music studio that we took our bedroom studio and transplanted all of our shit into.
Yeah. And then we also had nothing else going on because it was the pandemic.
Of course.
So,
yeah.
So that led to the rest of it, and
Right.
and this record was different from the last in that we had probably 4 or 5 or 6 songs by the time we were really in the thick of recording it, but then the rest of the tracks and all the interludes and really the glue that kind of holds it together, it's kind of meant to be listened to as one piece. It's 34 minutes and 34 seconds about repeating yourself.
Hey.
So it's a very conceptual piece, but we ended up building a lot of that just together and putting our heads together, and in a way that I don't think I've ever done with another person working on a project.
Yeah.
And really some of the tracks were live tracked, and that's I think what both of us prefer to do most of the time, but then some of them we built from the ground up, which was a little different.
It's super different, and also I think partially out of necessity, just because it's there was COVID scares happening with all of our bandmates. There was a couple dates where we could all get together where everybody was not COVID positive. And then it's we would have other dates down, and then it'd be I can't do it because I'm sick, and then nobody can do it anymore. And it's just we were already living together. So it just was a very natural sort of movement towards that.
Is it easier or harder to live with the person that you're making this album with? Because I feel in some ways, from the outside looking in, I would think, oh, it's so much easier because you can just shout out to the train. There's always a train.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah,
because there's a spot down there that they built the office by the train track.
Right.
And we were talking
next
about
to
having
it.
to schedule around the train if you were needed to take a phone call or something.
Yeah,
so that's probably something
exactly.
you have to deal with all the time.
All the time, dude. And also now that the cicadas are out because of the summer,
yeah,
I have
yeah.
never mentioned it yet, but if you've listened and you're what is that sound? It is the cicadas.
why does it sound like hell?
screaming into the night.
those are bugs.
Yeah,
Them
big
bugs.
bugs. They're huge. But yeah, the train, I have to always get used to it. But anyway, where I was going with the question was, in my mind, I would think, oh, I'm living with my bandmate. We can at any point in time, we can start recording. But I feel it's also when you live near the beach, you're I'm always going to go to the beach because I live near it. And then it's ends up being actually the opposite because you're like, oh, I'll go tomorrow. We'll do it tomorrow.
And then you start hating yourself for not going to the
Exactly.
beach. And you're like,
And then
I'm
it's a
such a
vicious
piece of
cycle.
shit for not going
Man,
to the beach as much
I moved
as I
to the
can.
beach because I wanted to go to the beach all
God,
the time,
love
and then I
beach.
never go to the
I've made
beach.
the beach my entire personality. And why wouldn't I go to the beach?
This has really struck a nerve, it seems.
No, I mean that definitely encapsulates it, at least for me, and I'm guessing for you too, since you just said it. But it's like
Life's a beach, man.
Did you guys have to like schedule? You know, like okay, we're gonna make it happen.
We did because
To finish
to
it, I
finish
feel
it.
like
Yeah,
you do,
it was
'cause
natural.
just like-
It was natural towards the beginning because it was a lot. It was just like towards the beginning. Obviously, it's just more in the like the fun aspect of it, which it's all fun. But it's like, you know, you're getting ideas down. You're trying
Right.
different things. You're kind of bouncing different concepts and like approaches off of, you know, your homie. And it's like fun. You're like, let's think of all these different things we could do. Isn't that so sick? And then it's like once you start getting further into that process, it's like now we did all those things and now we have to like wrap
Tighten
it
up.
up.
Yeah,
Like we have to like get it there. That got more stressful towards the end for sure. But I mean, it was also very fun to
I
be
love the
able to
beach.
hop down there. Yeah, I love the beach. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was helpful, and I mean, some of my favorite parts of doing it were literally just like when we would like wrap up, and it would be like 6 a.m. and like we would walk outside, and it's like, oh, it's light outside.
And it's like, let's
and
go on a walk before we go to bed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's go on a walk.
and then take it to sleep until 1 p.m.
Yeah.
and then it's like
the rock
all
star
right.
life.
I mean, yeah, it's just we had nothing else going on with COVID. It's just
Yeah.
like we really just we rolled with the punches on that. It's like
So you started making this in 2020.
We started. Yep.
yeah, we
Yeah, it
actually
was-
started the recording process and everything.
Okay,
in
so a
2020.
good 3 years has gone by.
Yeah.
Now that we have it in physical form, you know,
It's
how does
finally-
it
yeah.
how does it feel to like see your baby like in here in this room? You know, 3 years of work gone into this vinyl here.
It's a good feeling.
It feels great.
Yeah.
We're both really proud of it.
Yeah, and this was like my main goal for this record too. Is like I want to get some copies made, and I want to do it right. And it's not out yet, and I already feel like I've done more than I wanted to with this one.
That's
so,
good.
Yeah, I feel good about it.
He's a lot more ambitious than I am. And then when he said that, I was like, if anybody can make it happen, I think he got it. And then he did. And then I was like, wow. It does feel very
to make the vinyl happen?
Yeah, to make the labels and the vinyl happen.
Right.
Yeah, it definitely feels very different. You know, the last thing we did was a digital only. I guess we had some cassettes.
We
but
had some tips, yeah.
it definitely feels very different to like be like, wow,
Right.
this is a forever piece
Very
of
final.
Yeah.
You know.
I feel like too, like making a collection of songs and like committing to something is cool because it's like, what was I doing during this time?
Right.
So
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm excited that I'll have this forever to kind of look back and be like, I know exactly what was happening
Yeah.
during this time.
Right.
Well, and it's also just kind of a cool like roadmap in terms of like both of us as artists and as people who love music and kind of discovering that more about ourselves and what that looks like and honing our skills a little bit more. And I think it'll be cool to look back on when we're a little older and be like, that's
This
were we were
sounds
at.
like shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of a wreck, but we were really happy with it.
It doesn't
So-
sound like shit.
No, it's sick.
No, it sounds amazing. I know I already said it, but the Who Was in My Room last night really gave me like Velvet Underground vibes, and that hypnotic guitar, the do 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 is so sick. And the new song, what is it, Through My Head?
Yep.
Through My Head. What was the process between each of these songs? Was it, I know you said some were live tracks, some were not. What made you decide to choose which ones were going to get live tracked with a band and which ones were going to be built from the ground up, track by track?
I think part of it was like the order that they were written. Like Will said earlier, it became more and more difficult to get everyone into a room together with like
Yeah.
COVID going
The
on.
mass chaos.
But I also think that like the overall vibes of the songs, it makes sense too. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a different process, and we did some changes with the live tracking too to kind of really have. I really enjoy records and artists that make like a lot of different kind of things where you're kind of left guessing, like Yola Tango or, so.
Kind of reminded me of Spoon here and there.
Sure.
And they are
Like that.
famous for just constantly switching up
Yeah.
every record.
Velvet
Yeah.
Underground too.
Velvet Underground,
for sure.
Yeah. So we were able to kind of take the time to make some differences, and I think it's really cool how it's cohesive, but there's a lot of differences.
Yeah,
and,
there's a lot of
variety.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes in how things are recorded throughout it, and sort of the overall tone of what we're going for between each song. But I still do feel like it sounds cohesive, totally.
And Through My Head is just like a ripper, so we had
Such
to
a
do that.
We
one
had to
live
do
track.
it. Had to do it.
Yeah, you got to.
Yeah, but then the Through My Head actually has a like a part to it that's a separate track, and it's just me and an Island string and Will on a steel guitar that we have. So
sick.
it kind of leads into it, which I guess you'll hear tonight.
Yes. I can't wait to listen. With oh my God, what was I gonna say? I was gonna ask about the vinyl process because I'm very just intrigued. I've certainly never done that, and when you were making a vinyl, like obviously it costs a lot of money. So what was the process of getting these records made?
Yeah, so there's a pressing plant in town, and a lot of our friends work there. Hunter, who's in the band,
Right.
Works up there. And good buddies with Cash Carter, who was working up there and
Was one of the founding
helped
members.
founded the plant and everything like that. And Cash me and Cash have bonded over like different taste stuff with different garage rock and
And he was a fan of the previous thing we put out.
yeah.
Too.
So he was like, I wanna put out your record and help you get some records made and everything like that, which was awesome.
Yeah, he has. He's just been in that side of the industry for,
Yeah.
if not more than a decade at this point. So I think that he just could really steer us in the right direction in terms of how to make that materialize.
Yeah.
And
yeah. But he helped us get hooked up too with a vinyl subscription service. So it's being sent out on a vinyl subscription service,
Oh,
and
sick.
we use that to fund part of it, and a little here and there, and we made it happen.
Little
So-
magic.
here, there, and everywhere.
I do love the album cover. What inspired this? Each little setting going on.
Yeah, so that's a piece by an artist named Patrick Dean, who was from right around here in Athens and a little outside of Athens. And I was a huge fan of their work and had been talking to them about possibly working together and having them do a piece for the record cover. During the pandemic, they had done a lot of like police injustice and pandemic and this very like a lot of awesome drawings. And it really resonated with me a lot, and it was like, yes, this is exactly like what I feel like I'm making
I think
right
we
now.
both really resonated with the style, B, the political motive behind a lot of his pieces, and
Definitely.
yeah, we were using this as a placeholder.
Yeah, because I just
for-
really
Oh,
liked
funny.
this piece. And Patrick's health was getting a little worse, and he ended up passing away. I think it was in 2021 or 2022. We've been working on this for a long time.
Wow. So you had this idea already back
Yeah,
then. for the
yeah.
cover.
I'm like, they've been in town forever, and this piece is called "Welcome to Athens, Y'all," and it was on the cover of Flagpole the same week that the record comes out in 1999. So it seemed very fitting for
Whoa,
an album
that's
about
interesting.
repetition and feeling like living the same day over and over again, to have this piece that was in town at that time in the same week.
So this
be on
was
the album
the cover of Flagpole.
Yeah, on August 23rd, 1999 by Patrick Dean. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it does feel really apropos. I didn't know that was in the same week until you just said that, but it does feel really apropos given the name. Is like this image just resonates with what I feel like Athens is still doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
today,
like
you
deep
know?
dive into each little sketch.
Yeah,
It
that-
reminds me of that Fleet Foxes album where
Oh,
there's
yeah.
so many like tiny little things going on.
Yeah. the like repetition of the whole thing, I think, really kind of resonated with it too. The album is actually dedicated to Patrick, too. So it's really cool to. It means a lot to me to have this on the cover of the record.
That's so cool, man. I'm glad that you got to have that, have this made. And you mentioned earlier that this album you guys got to really work together on. What was that feeling like working on this together versus maybe in the past? Did it not quite feel like that? Does this one feel more collaborative?
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, in the past too, like the first one that we worked on together, we were definitely just like figuring it out. Still.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the first Telemarket EP, or the first one we worked on together.
The second
one
was the
yes.
first.
I feel like that was really the first project that I ended up feeling really satisfied with the overall tones of. Like I mixed the record and engineered it.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I felt really good about that. But I like he was saying, we were still just figuring so much stuff out. Yeah. I think that both of us felt more comfortable in like the roles that we like sort of like focused on a little bit more heavily on this, which obviously for him, he wrote all the songs, so that'd be that. And then I mixed everything. I think that was like probably the overarching delineation, but there was also so much more cross-pollination between those two things, especially given the fact that it was just the two of us on a lot of them. The line between finalizing a song and mixing a song just like continually got blurred, and we were just constantly bouncing ideas off of each other because we were the ones that were just putting the heads down and getting it going. So I think that just by virtue of that, it definitely feels like more of a collaborative output than else
Will, I mean, is such a talented engineer and producer, and it was when we worked on the you deserve a long nights, whatever. We like we were at a certain point, and then I feel like since then both he and I have gotten like so much more into production and engineering, and so it was cool to be able to like produce this thing together and
totally
like really hone in on a couple of tracks. Please Don't Leave Me Alone in particular was one where like we ended up having like Casio tone drum machine and
Sick.
like really like having to kind of like piece it together and
like reinforcing the
feel
Casio
changes
tone with samples
and
like
just making
doing
it
a bunch
feel
of,
right because it's just kind of a weird song, but it's probably I think it might be my favorite on the record.
Please Don't Leave Me Alone. That's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I like that title.
Thanks.
And the Casio tone drums are always a move.
Oh yeah,
I love
Always
those
hit.
drum machine
Always
sounds.
hit.
yeah.
When you guys were recording this, were you ever trying any new techniques out or doing anything weird to get some like strange sounds?
Definitely.
'Cause there's some weird stuff in the singles that sound really cool.
Yeah, there's some weird sounds.
There's some weird sounds.
The beginning of Who Was in My Room Last Night starts with a match strike.
Okay.
We
and then
reinforced the snare with a match
box
strike
of matches.
sample.
Oh yeah, the snare had this strike on it, and then there's some aux percussion in the back of that. That's a matchbox, kind of shaking around.
Oh, that's cool.
The band The Slits did that on their song Newtown.
I've heard that name. Are they newer or older?
No, they're like
way
late
older, right?
70s. Yeah.
Who was? Were
they're
they
great,
around
though.
the same time as like the Clash and all them?
Yep.
Yeah, they're
they,
like proto-punk.
They did the Clash.
Sort of.
That's right. I was like,
Yep.
am I making that up? Yeah.
Yeah. The song "Train in Vain" by the Clash is about. I don't think it's the lead. One of the members of the Slits.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But yeah, love that record by the Slits. So, and I thought that was a cool idea. So we're like, fuck it, we'll do some matches.
Yeah, there's a bunch of little stuff like that too. Like we used a bunch of found sounds towards
some
like the end of
samples.
lies that we tell ourselves.
Yeah. The outro is a track called "Abscess Makes the Heart Grow Fonder."
Nice. I love titles like that. And
Thanks.
just like one little thing is off and it changes the meaning of the entire the entire song.
You're gonna really like that one.
Yeah,
Nice.
that one is inspired by a track by Beck off of Mellow Gold called
Okay.
Analog Odyssey.
Gotcha.
And it's
I
just
just
like
got
a
into Beck, so that's
clusterfuck.
perfect.
You should check out that record if you haven't.
I know
Loser's
Loser's on that
but
one,
the-
right?
The rest of it's fucking awesome.
I have Ode Delay, and I have it starts with a G, Garrow.
That sounds
I
right.
think. Those two on CD, but I haven't really listened to Mellow Gold yet, so I'll give that one a listen. It's
Big
definitely
CD guy, huh?
I just happened to go to a record store and I was like, vinyls are very expensive, so
Yeah,
I
they
really
are.
am only buying one if I'm committed to it.
Right.
But I was like, I kind of like Beck. Let me get a CD because I do think it's better quality than just streaming. So it's like my happy medium. Like I want to support the artist, but I don't know if I'm committed to buying
That's
the
fair.
vinyl
Yeah,
yet.
it's nice to hold something, you know.
Yeah.
Even
Exactly,
if it's
yeah, physical
you know,
Plus the backs are
physical.
so shiny.
yeah,
Yeah.
There's little rainbows in
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
That's cool. That's
Very
really
true.
sick.
Yeah.
Underrated.
yeah. Also, we got to see Beck last summer in Barcelona, and it was
Yeah,
awesome.
Barcelona. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was that Primavera?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
How was he?
Great.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
The whole
I was
festival.
a
That was one
little-
of my favorite festivals I've ever been to. It was
Yeah.
like so clean and like so well organized. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who else did he get to see?
I saw Charlie XCX.
So
That was sick.
One of
So
Will's
hot.
favorites.
I love Charlie.
She's amazing. I
Yeah.
just told somebody the other day, I feel like she's just the embodiment of hot girl summer
Oh, for
all
sure.
the time.
Absolutely. But she's got the
Cute,
depth
sexy,
too.
and her ride's sporty.
True. Yes.
Bro. Yeah,
Exactly.
we saw Yellow Tango. We saw Yellow Tango there too.
yeah.
And Pavement. Pavement was amazing.
Pavement was
They were
good.
really
I
Pavement
heard
was there?
bad things about Pavement's
They were
live set.
so tight.
Yo, fuck you, Steven.
Did somebody
We
trash
should-
Pavement's
we
live
should
set?
beef Steven Malcolmus. That'd be sick.
Do what?
Did somebody trash Pavement's live set?
I
That
feel
you
like
know?
their live reputation's probably, from what I heard, not very good. But
Yeah.
when we
They
saw
were
them,
tight.
they
They
were
were super
great.
tight.
They were really tight.
Nice. I love Stephen Malcolmus. And I honestly, I really do love Pavement. I had that Pavement record out there. But in terms of albums, end up liking Stephen Malcolmus's albums more. But maybe his songs, there's so many Pavement songs I love.
Yeah.
But a single album, there's not one really. I have that one, but I don't know, front to back, there aren't many of their albums that I can not skip a
Gold
few of them.
Sounds.
You know?
I think that's kind of the beauty of
Gold
it.
Sounds
though,
is good,
in a
too.
way. It's it's very raw,
Yeah.
which I like.
I
It's
do like the first
you
one. What is it called? The very first one?
It's not Maui Zowie. That's later. Right?
No.
No, that's a little later.
Slanted and Enchanted.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah. The other rhyming one. I do like that one a lot.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they
Anybody
were
else
sick though.
that you got to see at Primavera?
Gorillas. We saw Gorillas, which was cool.
Cool.
Tyler.
Oh yeah, the crowd was insane.
Lightning Bolt.
Yeah, they
Was
were
sick.
They ripped.
Yeah.
I saw
seeing
Beach
them
House
would be
there.
cool.
Yeah.
Too. I love Beach House. I've seen Beach House several times, but
Oh,
every
really?
time I see them, I'm just like, damn,
Yeah.
they're tight. They're very tight.
I got to see him once back in 2016, and it was pretty ethereal when they were playing the stuff from Depression Cherry. I was just so
Totally.
happy.
Did
Yeah.
you levitate?
A little bit. I did.
Nice.
Yeah, when they played Levitate.
Nice.
Yes, I did a little bit. But I wanted to ask very specifically, and maybe I'm insane, but the Who Was in My Room Last Night, when you're singing that at the end, is it reversed vocals, or am I making that up? Because there seems to be some effect.
It's probably
There's a
just
lot of shit
there's
there.
a lot of shit happening. To be honest, yeah.
Is
I mean,
it? There
I'm sure
might
there's
be some back-
there might be some reverse
Some
delay on it.
backmasking?
Yeah.
it's possible.
Yeah, if you actually play the record backwards, you can hear satanic messages
Right.
about the gold standard.
I assumed about the gold standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll listen to it in reverse tonight and brainwash myself. When we had sex
You're gonna be
cells,
so mad about currency after you hear it.
Yeah, and be
it's
like,
gonna be, yeah.
this
be ready.
fiat money is everywhere. But when I had sex cells on a week or so ago, she brought Elizabeth. She noticed my Carl Jung Man and His Symbols book, and she wanted to display that up here. And we talked about how I only really bought that because I just wanted to brainwash people by putting weird symbols on my stuff, but have them not know. So sometimes I feel like doing that with reverse vocals might be kind of fun as well, but I don't know. Maybe
Subliminal.
subliminal, who knows if that even works.
Yeah.
But it sounds cool. either way.
I did a science fair project on subliminal messaging in 7th grade, and
That's pretty sick.
Went to
In
counties.
7th grade. Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What did you?
I
What
got
did
to
you
go
learn?
to
what
Arby's
was
with
the,
my dad instead of going to school.
Nice.
It was
Art
What was the
sick.
experimental design on it?
It was fucked. It was we edited together a video that had some like flashing shit happening
Fucked enough.
in it.
Fucked enough in
and,
Fayette County, dude.
Yeah, it was. But hey, counties, baby.
Is that the thing where they would show like a Coca-Cola ad for a split second, and
Yeah.
then people would go up and get a drink?
Yeah.
Interesting. That is weird how that works.
Or like Fight Club, where they have like.
Yeah, or like Fight Club, and they have the giant penis
Yep.
flash on the screen. I kept reversing that part. I wanted to keep watching back. But anyway, back to the music here. We talked about the music video. What was the process of, now I kind of know where the idea came from, but how was the process of shooting this music video? And, I feel like one of those music videos are one of those things where until you've done one of them, you really don't know how to do the first one. And it's just a lot of figuring it out on the fly.
Yeah, we worked with one of our other roommates, Isaac Johnson, who is like maybe my favorite human on the entire planet. He's
he's
like the
amazing.
sweetest person ever. And he's a farmer, and he's just lovely.
He also is just
awesome.
he's a really great director. The time
Yeah.
constraint on it was pretty tight.
Him and his brother shot the whole
Yeah.
thing on a VHS camera
Yeah.
that they had from making home movies growing up.
So sick.
adorable.
And we ended up coming up with the concept together, and getting ready and getting our shot list together and everything like that. And then probably within 48 hours, we had the entire thing shot and edited together in a week or two, and we got it there. But making that was really fun, and using the VHS camera was awesome. And we did some projection and live kind
that was my favorite part, I
feedback
think.
and stuff
Yeah.
like that, which in some of those shots at the end when there's all the shit
Right.
floating around, that was all analog, just using another camera to kind of
Like a
loop
feedback
the
loop.
image.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Which was really cool. And just working with Isaac and his brother was awesome.
They're
'Cause
both
they're
so sweet and so
yeah.
creative, and also just I don't know.
So
We were
talented.
kind of talking about this a little bit. It's it's very difficult to coordinate people logistically. And Adam is amazing at that. It was amazing. I basically just showed up and did what he told me to do. It was great. And he had pizza
pizza.
for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pizza. Always
And
a
then
good
Craft
he
services.
He
Yeah,
was a little
craft
stressed, and
you.
I wasn't at all. I was just drinking beer.
was great.
It was great.
What
That's
else is
chill.
new?
I would recommend it, honestly.
That's a great way to get people to come help with your music video. Just be like,
Yeah,
we'll give you
exactly.
food and beer.
Yeah, and sex sells are actually the robbers in that video.
I was like, I'm guessing that's Elizabeth by the long blonde hair
Yeah.
under the mask. But yeah, you guys crushed that music video. Were there any obstacles you had to get around? Because it seems like, especially with music videos, there's always something that's going to come up that was not what you planned, and you have to figure out how to work around it.
Day jobs, and then
sure.
one of the cameras, the battery pack ended up not working. So at all times we had this extension cord running and attached to the camera to
I did a
make
music
it
video
work.
with a VHS, same exact thing.
Yeah.
The battery camera wouldn't work, or battery pack wouldn't work, so we had to keep it plugged in.
Yeah, you're a big film production guy and all that stuff.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, you do
That's
that.
your camera right there.
Yeah,
That's a nice one.
that
Look
bad
at
boy.
that. Oh, look at her.
Look at that. We're on camera. We're on film. I don't know. I've had that thing forever, and I literally have only used that for this and for self-taped auditions for acting stuff. And that's it. So I'm by no means the guy behind the camera. That takes a lot of skill and know-how. But the VHS thing, I did shoot a music video 2 years ago, and not only was same problem, we had to keep it plugged into the wall the entire time if we wanted it to work. But then we went through the footage a week later, and about 90% of it was gone. And it's what do we even do? It's
Yeah.
such an old piece of equipment. You can't even ask anybody to help you.
I don't even think they gave enough time for that to happen. I feel like y'all just dumped the stuff off of the tapes, like
Yeah.
Pretty
Well,
much while you're doing it.
that and that's where like Isaac shined. Was like
totally.
we had this shot list, and him and I like worked really hard together, like pre-production, to like come up and make sure we had like all of our ideas down and like it really planned and everything. But then like when we were actually capturing it, it was like Isaac would read the shot list and know exactly how to like get it to
Right,
what
exactly
we need
what
to
he
do,
wanted out of
and
it.
like together him and his brother Dylan like really like they just like instantly just knew how to do it, and it was very awesome.
Dude, it's so nice when you can just trust someone else to do the stuff that like they know what
Devin,
you
not
want.
Dylan.
Yeah, I was wondering if that was intentional or not.
No, it
Uh-oh.
wasn't.
What was this?
Isaac's brother Devin. Sorry, Devin.
Devin? Is Devin getting some shade on the pod right now?
No, I just
Devin is the best. I think he might be in Canada right now.
Idiot. He is in Canada.
Yeah.
Eh? Right? And then also I wanted to ask Adam, because you produced the Sex Cells record, right?
Yeah.
So what's been, some things that you've learned as a producer that with Sex Cells or maybe with some other artists that you've worked with that you kind of took into this project?
So I've most of the projects I've recorded were after this record.
Oh, okay.
But definitely have taken a lot from it, and I really enjoy working with bands that are starting out and like maybe have this artistic vision but don't quite know how to get there yet, and being able just to help them be like, okay, we can get there, and like let's just like move and do it. And like I mean, I'm sure they kind of talked about like our timeline there was pretty quick, and it was very like intensive, and we just like dove in and made it happen. And there was a bunch of personnel stuff and like, but it didn't matter because we just like we all kind of knew what we were going for, and we were able to make something really cool. That's probably the piece that I've worked on that I'm most proud of so far.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
With any future projects that you go into, what have been some things that you guys have learned as producers, engineers that you're like, man, I wish I knew this 10 years ago because I would be doing this with every project?
Clean recording and making it sound good when it comes in the microphone,
as opposed to like doing it in post
as opposed
later.
to trying to fix shit.
That's
that's huge.
Which is hilarious because I feel like that's what everybody told me when I started doing it too, and I was just like, no, fuck you.
Or you think it, or
it.
you just think it's clean, like you just assume it is.
Yeah, I do think that your scope of understanding what a good end sounds like changes as you do it more.
Yeah, it's like your threshold for, I mean, I remember 5-6 years ago when I was making demos and being like, this shit is the coolest thing anyone's ever made. And then you go back and you listen to it and you're like, this is like trash, like straight up garbage. And over time, there's so many lessons you learn and things you pick up that you aren't even aware of almost. And they just kind of show up later as you keep doing it again and again.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, I think putting your heads together with some people who want to make something happen and like really hitting it is cool. The Bogbot stuff too. We just ran
Did you work
into
with
Joy.
them?
Yeah, we did.
My neighbors, by the way.
Yeah, shout out Bogbot.
Bogbot rules.
Bogbot playing next week with Honey Puppy and Rubber Udder Bouvet. See you there.
Oh, sick. That's right. I'll be there. What day is it?
The 19th.
It's Saturday.
Saturday,
Cool.
Which might be the 19th.
You have
It
no
might be
excuse.
the
You can
18th.
walk there.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
you're
No,
already
wait.
there.
I have to be in
Don't
Valdosta for my cousin's
Excuses.
my cousin's wedding thing.
Classic.
I know. I could just, fuck
Are you
my
ready
family.
to walk off?
Yeah, you guys can leave now, actually, if you want. No, that's a bummer. Maybe I can get out of it. But
There'll be another one. you know.
they did tell me they were playing another one after that, right?
I'm sure
Bogbot?
they'll play a couple more after that.
Right. But either way, I will try my best. Maybe I can get out of it. I can weasel out of it. I also wanted to ask about, what do you feel like makes a really good producer? What do you feel like are some good traits that a producer needs to have in order to maybe get the best out of their artists?
I feel like the biggest thing, which again, this is something that like every mentor I had told me, but it's like 50% about the music. Obviously, massively important aspect of the music or of the process is the music, arguably the most important. But also, you're dealing with people, and if people are happy and in a good headspace and feel like they're in a space where they can be creative and throw out ideas and, you know, feel heard and communicate well with everybody, then it typically just goes a lot smoother. And part of that is production, you know, or being a good producer is that. Part of being a good engineer is that, and having the foresight of what you can do beforehand to make sure that that's facilitated.
Yeah, for sure. That first thing you said, I think is definitely huge. And, you know, it is about working with people and, you know, hearing ideas out and saying, yeah, I think we can get there, or that's cool. Like, I think that's a great idea, but I think maybe we should try to do it like this. And I think it might come across a little better.
Yeah. Figuring out how to refine stuff while still allowing people to feel, like their initial intent was
Totally.
right.
And like you said, I mean, like having a good time and like, you know, being, easy to work with. That's something I really respect about like, Henry, Barbie, who we worked with from the Pink Stones, and, like Drew Vandenberg. You know, we both, interned at Chase Park like 4 years ago or something like that. And one of the like most impactful things I learned there was on the Faye Webster session, and it was like setting up for the Faye Webster session, and like ended up picking up donuts because Drew was like, okay, you got to go get donuts. Like I was like, okay, like while he's like setting up all the microphones, he's like, go pick these donuts up, and I'm like, okay, cool, and you know, get these donuts and like bring them in, and like I set the box out, and he's like, come on, man, put the donuts on a plate. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll put the donuts on a plate. So I put them out on the plate, and they look nice and everything like that. And then the band gets there, and you know, they're just stoked about the donuts, and everyone's like, you know, pumped and like ready to go. And you know, like I just like really respected and admired like kind of how he was just like, you know, like make them feel good and like make it a good place to be, and you know, be a good dude. Like
that's awesome. That's some Mr. Miyagi shit.
Yeah,
like some
really
some
put
shit
the
you would
donuts on a
never
fucking
think
plate,
about.
man. Come on,
it's amazing the details that
It's
will.
the detail. Yeah, David Barbie, when I was there too. Also, this is like a little, I guess, a little trait. I don't know if I should even say this, but I thought it was.
You can say it.
Thought it was pretty sick.
Only thousands of people will hear it on the podcast.
During a session, he went into this whole thing about the lighting, and if you want people to start picking up the pace a little bit, you increase the lighting a little bit, and if you feel like the tension is a little bit too high and you need to like cool it down a little bit, dim the lighting a little bit. Everybody's chilling again. It's good.
Shout out Philips Hue.
Yeah, shout out. They should sponsor this pod. That would be pretty cool.
That would be sick.
That would be awesome.
Sponsor us, actually.
Yeah.
Sponsor Telemarket.
You guys would have the greatest like live setup, like all these lights.
Our
everywhere,
LD just has an iPhone. Like,
yeah, and he's constantly doing the circle thing.
Yeah.
And just keeps changing the hues.
It's honestly not a bad idea.
That wouldn't be a bad
It's
idea.
a better lighting rig than we currently have on tour.
That's true.
So,
Do you bring your own lighting gig?
no.
Oh, okay, there you go.
We could just do single lamp on a coated LED
There you go.
changeover.
That'd be kinda nice.
The acoustic guitar lamp with the cowboy hat.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There you go. With this new album that you guys have, is there a song that you would say you feel like you're the most proud of, or you know, even a song that you feel like was the most difficult to finalize?
I definitely have an answer for the second part.
Yeah, I have an answer for the second part too. We're gonna say the same thing. 3, 2, 1, Big Bend.
Ooh,
Yeah. We that was definitely the one that took the longest to finish, and kind of like, you know, like, all right, now we just need to decide what we want here. But it's really cool. Like
I love
we
how it
ended
turned
up,
out.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that might be my favorite one on the record.
Yeah.
like a lot
Interesting.
of
So
them.
kind of both in a way.
Yeah, I really love that song. Like the emotional resonance of it, I feel really connected to.
Big Ben or Bend?
Big Bend.
Bend.
Like
The national
in
park.
Texas. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if I have like a song I'm like most stoked about on
Yeah, I was
there.
gonna
Like,
say,
I think
favorite
Please
is-
Don't Leave Me
is
Alone is my
difficult,
favorite, but
but-
I really like how this record is like a complete thought, and it's
Yeah.
like, it's meant to be listened to start to finish, and like the A side is like a complete thought, and the B side's like a complete thought, and it runs into each other, and it's sequenced, and it's 34 minutes and 34 seconds about repeating
Was
yourself.
that on purpose?
Yes.
Okay, so you knew you wanted to do 34, or did he just want it to be a double number?
Life just happens, man.
Sometimes
I'm gonna.
you get lucky.
That wasn't the initial. That wasn't the initial goal, but it's all right. It ended where it's gonna be.
The initial goal was 3-3-3.
There's actually 34 number 34s on the album cover if you look closely
There
enough,
are, yeah.
right?
Well, if you do, if you take the angle of the curve,
And the circumference of this angle
right?
then you'll actually see that it doesn't mean anything.
But yeah, it was that's where a lot of the kind of fine details of it came, where I feel like Will and I had a lot of fun, was like, sequencing it and getting it to that point where it was like, it felt like, a complete thing.
Yeah, how was the sequencing
was great.
process? Did you know what you want ahead of time?
I think
Yeah,
we
did,
pretty much knew. Yeah. And then like kind of filled in with some different stuff. When we play at the 40 Watt on August 26th, we're gonna play the entire record.
And we're gonna
to
try and
back.
also
Awesome. Yeah.
nail the changes between the songs.
We are gonna play the whole record front to back.
There we go.
Dude, so sick. I'll definitely be there. Who else is playing that night?
We're playing with Wayuka, which will be
that's
their
right.
first show in town in quite a while. And then Nuclear Tourism.
Right.
That's not what they're called.
Nuclear Terrorism.
That's right. That's what it is.
And then a band from Atlanta called Karaoke.
I love
who's
Karaoke.
awesome.
Yeah, for a long time, I was like, that's interesting that
They're doing
nuclear
karaoke.
tourism and Wayuka are so popular that they have their own karaoke night together,
Yeah.
and you guys chose karaoke as an opening
Well,
act.
we couldn't
I
get
was
them.
so
We couldn't get them on the
confused.
bill because they don't want anything to do with us. But they said they gave us the rights to their songs to do karaoke with.
Great.
Yeah, literally.
Super nice of them.
Yeah, that's sweet. That's a nice compromise.
I mean, it was expensive, but
And you guys are also playing in Atlanta, right? The next
the
night?
next night on the 27th, we're playing at Boggs Social and Supply Company.
Sweet.
With,
Still yet to go there.
Yeah, I haven't been there either. But I'm excited to.
Is it
And you should
relatively
go,
new?
too. I think within the past couple years or
okay.
so. But that seems where like all our homies play now, and
Yeah.
I think they do a really good
yeah,
job.
it is
over
fun. I feel
there.
like I see so many bills there now.
Yeah, never heard of it until like a year ago, and now everyone I know is going up and playing there.
Yeah, we're playing with Floral Portrait that
Sick.
night, who's awesome,
Yeah, they're
and Ocean Eater, who's also awesome,
Also very good.
and Made Up, who's also awesome.
I don't know Made Up.
They're playing the night before on the 25th with Sex Cells and the Pierres in town.
Are they going to be in Athens?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Nice, dude. Hell yeah. Lots of good shows in the mix. So everybody needs to come check you guys out 26th and 27th.
Yeah, and then Josie and I are going to do an mostly acoustic-ish set at Low Yo-Yo on the 24th.
Cool.
Just kind of, we love Low
For
Yo-Yo.
Honey Puppy stuff.
No, it's also just Telemarket. Just
cool.
to do it. And Nuclear Tourism's doing their acoustic set too. So that'll be like 7 p.m. on
Sweet.
the 24th in Low Yo-Yo. So
Okay.
claim one of your 12 spots. Show up early.
There you go. Yeah. I guess, they would probably, they have to cut it off at some point. You can't get
It's
in
pretty
there.
tight.
Yeah,
But, I mean,
we had like 20 people or 25
Yeah, I
people
played
in
a
there
show there. A
for
solo set there
Twain,
recently.
which was cool.
Nice. For what?
Twain,
Twain. Is that a different band you're part of?
no, that is it's an artist
a
that
person.
works
Oh,
with
okay.
a lot of the Big Thief folks.
Big teeth.
Big Thief, Big Thief folks.
Big Teeth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's on the most recent Big Thief record and the most recent.
He's on it.
Yeah.
Doing what?
He does vocals for it, and then
wow.
he's also on.
Cutworms or
No, why can't I? Yeah, Buck Meek. Yeah,
Yeah.
Buck Meek. Yeah.
his last record
He
that
just
came out.
He's about to put out a new one, right? Or
Yeah,
did
he has some singles that just came out. I like him a lot.
Yeah, but that show was really cool. Will played that one solo set for his project Garden Club, which was awesome. And then AG played a Clover County set for that one too, which was like one of maybe
Low
AG's
Yo-Yo?
like second shows. Yeah,
I saw her play at Low Yo-Yo a couple months back. Was it that same show?
it wasn't. It was the OG. That was an imitator.
Oh, whoops!
Yeah.
I went to the fake one. My
Yep.
bad. Didn't realize. But Low Yo-Yo is a cool spot to do gigs. I remember I didn't get to go, but Marcel Sletton, who came on the pod, he did a set there, and it was just funny because he just had his laptop and
On
just
top
like
of the
blasting
records.
like noise music.
Yeah,
Like, this is sick.
I was there for that one. Love Marcel and like everything he does.
It's a very interesting space to play. It's very, very
It's so
intimate.
small
Yeah,
and
it's
yeah,
so
it's
little.
It'd be very intimidating. Like no.
Yeah, a lot of eye contact. A lot of eye contact.
yeah.
I was like, "Ooh, I wish we could like dim the lights in here."
Yeah, put some shades on.
Yeah, should have.
But nice, man. Definitely have to catch these shows coming up. You guys want to take this over to the last 5, where the universe asks you 5 quick questions?
Let's do it.
Okay.
All right. I used to be the one asking the questions, but now
whoa.
I'm like, we're putting them in the bowl.
Okay, but did you put them in the bowl?
I did put.
So
them
are
in
you?
the bowl.
in
You
a
are
way,
asking
I'm
the
a
question.
conduit.
Don't
In a
you
way,
hide
no,
behind the bowl,
I'm
man.
a conduit for the universe.
Just saying, don't put that on the universe, dude. That's you.
So if you don't like the questions, it's not my fault. Okay. So let's see what number 1 is.
you want me to do it?
You go first. I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. Do we both answer? What is the?
Yeah. You can both answer.
We have to answer for each other.
You have to look into each other's eyes and like say the same answer at the same time.
In the studio or playing live? We were just talking about this. You have a microphone. You don't need to do that.
Both.
Both.
Studio.
Studio.
100%.
I'm a studio guy. I mean, I would much rather be in the studio because it is like, it means I'm doing a new song, which is what I like.
Yeah.
And it's like you get
Totally.
to see something get built up from the ground up.
I
you
love
know?
playing live, but I also love being in the studio.
He loves. Yeah. He has a great stage presence. I get kind of anxious before we play. I'm getting better about it, but it's a little anxiety inducing for me.
I feel it.
Song you wish you wrote.
Why do I have to go first?
Time Today by Kira Bonito.
Oh wow, that's sick.
I've been trying to get into
Not
them,
what
and
I would have guessed that you were gonna say.
Yeah.
Are you answering for me?
No.
No. You can answer separately.
That's just what was on my mind.
Okay, word. We were just talking about Buck Meek. I really like the last record he put out. He has a song called Two Saviors. I think it's amazing. Really
Two
like it.
Saviors. That's a new one of his.
It's off the last record.
Oh, okay.
What's the Garden Club song with the drum fill?
The drum fill?
Yeah. I fucking hate the way you say my name.
Oh yeah, I Can't Be Your Man.
I Can't Be Your Man. That's my actual answer.
Okay.
The Garden Club.
So Cara Benito was not a
Oh, that
real
one too.
answer.
That was a decoy.
That record's
Decoy answer.
Yeah, that record is honestly really good. It's
Which
so
one
good.
is that one on?
Time and Place, I think it's called.
I think so.
The
yeah.
Cara Benito one?
It's like purple.
It's the
good.
one
like a
after. It's the one
good.
after graduation.
Okay.
That's
I was picturing
just
that
it.
one. I've heard
But
it.
the purple one?
The
Is
purple.
that the one
and-
with the shrimp?
No,
It's not the one with the shrimp.
That's the pink
That one's
one.
Flamingo.
Oh, okay. Of course. Of course it's
Sick
Flamingo.
beat though. That's a good song.
That's a good one.
Okay. I do need to get into them. Let's see what number
Oh,
3
okay,
is.
cool. All right.
Quick 5.
There's
Come
only
on,
fi- there's
Will.
only
It,
five.
it does not have to be quick. I'm sorry. It doesn't
Come
have to
There's
be
on.
only 5 pieces of paper in here, and we've already gone through 2. So
quick. I hope there's more than 5 pieces.
one of
them.
them's ripped. So that's why I.
Is it really?
It was like,
Dude.
what are your?
Okay, let me make a disclaimer quick before we do this question. If you come on the podcast, please don't rip the pieces of paper.
Yeah.
Do you
Because this-
reuse these?
Come on.
I do reuse these.
Have some common courtesy.
Some people have done it. I know it's accidental. I know it's just like a
Fidgety thing.
A fidgety thing, yes. And
I
but
did just crumple up every one of them. That
we have
have
some
touched.
crumbling
So I didn't
ASMR.
realize that we were supposed to keep them. My bad. One of them's on the floor in a bowl now.
That's okay. That's fine. That's better than ripping it.
Musical hot take.
Ooh.
I don't know if I want to do this one.
This one's fun. I like this one.
Musical hot take.
Like, what can I say that's like not like
Something
not like
in the
not
middle.
like a softball, but also like
Right.
isn't gonna get me in trouble. I was about to say one, but I think that this is gonna make people mad. to be honest.
That's a hot take.
That's a hot take.
Say
Yeah.
so because
I'll tell you the one. I'll tell you the one that I said to you the other day. I never really got into Led Zeppelin because it wasn't really my dad's, like, you know, that wasn't my dad rock. You know, he was more into hair metal. So I decided, I had a long conversation with somebody about like how I needed to get into it, and I was like, yeah, like I obviously respect the legacy. Somebody's like, you got to check out, you know, One, and I did, and I don't like it.
You don't like Led Zeppelin?
I wouldn't do One though. I mean,
Well, that's what they told me I need to listen to. One, I just thought it was pretty mediocre, to be honest.
Yeah, that's cool.
That
You're
is
wrong.
interesting.
Saying
Led Zeppelin's overrated.
I didn't say that.
But
I said One.
They
It's
might
not good.
a little bit. They might be a little.
I get the let out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Musical hot take. If Bruce Springsteen's the boss, I quit.
Nice. Yo, that's sick. I'm going to say
Clip
that
it.
from now
That
on.
was perfect. I'm sorry to say, though, I do love the boss, but a lot of that is probably my dad getting me into him, you know?
Yeah.
He is top tier dad music, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah, I mean,
Have you said that before? Did you just
Atlantic
make that
City's
up?
not even fucking
Okay.
in Nebraska,
Hold
man.
Does everything have to make this parallel sense?
You know, maybe.
Maybe? Is there...
I mean, if he was a real artist, it would.
Okay, there you go. So, hot take, Bruce Springsteen's not a real artist. That's a good one.
Someone said that. That's a quote. I didn't make that up. That's a good
quote, that was good.
Andrew yelled at me
I was
for not
going to give you
remembering
props
who it was,
for coming
but,
up with that.
Someone said that. I don't know. We'll look it up later.
really
You can flash it down here when you do post-production. This is who
Right.
actually said it. That was the year.
Every once in a while, I do something a little meta.
Yeah, you'll go down there.
Yeah, we'll go down here.
Call now.
Yeah.
34 minutes and 34
Maybe we
seconds.
should
by
have like an
repeating
advice
yourself.
section of the pod where people call in, or they give their musical hot takes, maybe.
Oh,
You know, and then we debate.
I like it. I like an advice section, but I want them to give us advice
Oh, yeah.
instead of us giving them advice.
Please help me.
Please,
Yeah.
help. Please.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I think so.
Is this number 4?
Yeah, I think this is 4.
Dream 3-band bill.
That we're playing or that we're seeing?
I should specify. When I wrote it, I initially meant who you go see. But if you also have one that you want to be a part of, that'd be cool too.
Oh man, broadcast would be on mine
Oh, that would be
for
awesome.
sure. They're probably my favorite band.
Broadcasts.
Yeah,
I need to get into them. I don't really know them at all.
love them.
My Bloody
Amazing.
Valentine would definitely be on
Yeah,
mine.
it'd be on
sure.
mine too.
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Bring earplugs.
But broadcast and My Bloody Valentine,
That'd
we
be
can collab this. That's there for sure.
That'd be crazy. That'd be unheard of. That'd be so wild. For me, I guess if I was really gonna complete the trifecta, because that's like 90s and then broadcast 2000s and then Spirit of the Beehive.
Yeah, that would be
Spirit of the Beehive, dude. Let's
Yeah.
go.
That would be killer.
I don't know anybody else really that is a big fan of
Oh,
them.
we
and
love
I'm
them.
Huge.
Oh,
yeah,
into
for sure.
them. What do you think of their new singles, though? The 2 new ones.
I liked them.
I don't
I like
think
They're
I've
pretty
heard them.
interesting. The
Yeah, they're
cover
definitely-
is disturbing.
Oh yeah, it's wild.
The
The whole
album
breathing
cover.
interlude.
The what?
The breathing
Oh,
interlude.
yeah.
Yeah. I kind of liked that though. It was kind of cool. Honestly, like I feel like nothing they do like surprises me anymore in that it's always going to surprise me. You know what I'm saying?
Well, after
It's
they
like-
put out a single called "I Suck the Devil's Dick" or "Devil's Cock,"
Yeah.
I mean, they've
a great
kinda,
song. That's a
they've
great song.
said- It is a great song.
Yeah.
In 7 minutes.
I almost
Yeah.
said them for songs you wish you wrote, just because like every time I listen to them, I'm like, how the fuck do you write something like
Yeah,
that?
it's yeah.
no
I agree.
idea.
It seems completely intangible, and it's awesome. Like,
Yeah. It's crazy having something that's that disjointed feeling, but simultaneously feels that like cohesive. I don't even know how you go.
That
about doing
whole album, that Entertainment Death album, feels that way. And I loved the one before that as well, Hypnic Jerks.
Yeah.
And I only knew about it because Mitski did a like "What's in Your Bag" at Amoeba Records. You ever see those?
Didn't she say that's her favorite band?
She might have said that, but she
Oh.
definitely mentioned like she toured with them and
Oh,
just
cool.
really loved them and loved that album. So it's like
Pleasure Suck. You know
Yeah,
that one?
yes, but I don't know it as much. I should
Yeah,
go back.
That
and, like,
that
listen
might be
to it
my
again.
favorite one.
I think Hit McJerks is my favorite one, but
Yeah.
Pleasure Sucks amazing.
Yeah, that Nail I Couldn't Bite.
So
That
good.
song, I think, was the #1 most listened to song for me when I discovered it that year on like Spotify
good.
Wrapped, because I just couldn't stop listening.
I tried to
that.
go see them at 529.
We did see them that one time.
We did see
at
them once.
the Drunken Unicorn.
Yeah, that was
or-
a great show.
Oh,
yeah.
I
I've
saw
seen
them
them
at
twice.
Aisle 5 a couple of years.
I saw them at
Yeah.
aisle 5 too. That was a great show.
You were there?
I was there.
That was awesome. Body Meat.
Body Meat was so crazy.
So sick.
So
Body Meat's
crazy.
awesome.
Body Meat is, yeah.
I
I'm
got-
so glad they did that
I
together.
got his step sibling a Body Meat t-shirt at that show.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, they love Body Meat. Shout out Jasper.
Yeah, shout out Jasper.
Do you
I'm
know?
never going to Six Flags again with you.
Do you know Pedazo de Carne con Ojo?
I know.
Okay,
I don't think
yeah.
so. What did you say?
Pedazo de Carne, Pedazo de Carne con Ojo.
No.
It's Spanish, loosely translates to a piece of meat with an eye. I'm sure there's a real more
Whoa.
like slang what it means. But he's a guy, he's an artist who works with Spirit of the Beehive.
Oh, cool.
And Drag Me,
Yeah.
who's Zach's other
Yeah.
project. I had him on the podcast and we kind of talked about Spirit
That's sick.
and all them. And
That's cool.
that whole Philly scene is really crazy.
Yeah.
There's so
many,
much
yeah, we
weird
played
stuff
with
going on up
Tagabo.
there.
Like they're getting a body of water out
Yeah,
of Philly.
That was awesome.
Oh yeah.
In one of
I
our
don't-
other projects.
Are they good? They're
Yeah.
good.
Oh, yeah, they're
Oh,
killer.
yeah. And the show was awesome. Cause
Show was
we
wild.
We had it at Flickr, which was sick because it was sold out. And
They are gutting a body of water. Played at Flickr.
yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, it was sick. And they played set up in the middle of the room, and everyone was just like on the walls, like surrounding it, and it was
It was
nuts.
so sick. People on the stage.
Is
and
it
they were
just like a
center.
normal band setting, like or setup?
They
They're-
definitely had like an SPDSX.
Yeah,
or
they do a
something
lot
on
of
there.
stuff.
They had some stuff in there for sure. It was they're definitely like shoegaze adjacent.
Totally. But yeah,
Gotcha.
shout out Philly. I love so much
Philly has
music.
some
Alex
crazy-
G too from Philly. Paul.
Is he? I didn't know that. I saw him at the 40 Watt before I even moved here, and that
I've
was
never heard
like,
of
Oh,
him.
nice.
You never heard of Alex G? Nah, he's pretty indie. He's pretty under recognized.
Adam won't get his lunchbox back.
No. What's question number 5?
Oh.
Although, did we really answer that question?
What was it?
You said,
It was
Dreamville?
yeah,
Well, he said
broad.
Spirit of the Beehive
Oh,
broadcast
that's
and
right.
My
Yeah,
Bloody
My Bloody
Valentine.
Valentine.
That would be good. But I'd have to be there with Will.
Oh, of course. Yeah, you guys got to see it together.
I feel like those are very formative bands, especially.
Let's do it.
Especially Spirit.
We're gonna
and-
lock that one in.
Lock it in. That's the universal lock-in symbol.
2 artists you want to see collab.
I don't even remember writing that one.
I want to see you and Jameson Tank together.
I want to see you and Jameson Tank
Me?
together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude. We did a podcast, so let me plug my episode I did with him.
Oh, you guys did already?
we did,
Oh,
yeah.
well, we have to come up with a different answer. It's
Yeah,
already
yeah.
reality.
We didn't do a song together, if that's what you meant, but we did do a podcast.
Should do that too. That'd be sick.
That would be
Sick.
interesting.
I don't know. These are tough.
Hmm.
I'm trying to think of like what I like from specific people, and then like how they would overlap well with each other.
And it doesn't have to be people like from Athens. It
Right.
could be like how incredible is like the JPEG Mafia, Danny Brown.
That's a great
collab,
record. I do.
who I'm
love
gonna
that
go
record.
see next week. No big
That's
deal.
sick.
Nice.
I hope you
In
have fun.
Atlanta. I'm so pumped.
I'm sure that's gonna be really fun. I want to see Machine Girl Stereo Lab collab.
That would be sick.
Whoa. That would be really
I feel like it would
intense.
weirdly work. What do you think?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna lock in.
I want to get into Stereo Lab, but there's so much. I'm
There's a
so
lot of
intimidated.
content. Yeah,
Like knowing where to start is very hard for me with them.
Dots and loops, man.
yeah. Dotson Loop.
That's
is-
right.
That's
yeah.
where I got
but
him.
then there's like the 27-minute long song.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, come
Yeah.
on. What are we doing?
But a lot
here?
of it's just like it's interesting because it's kind of jammy. It's like that's
Very
not what I
jammy.
would like. I wouldn't say they're a jam band, obviously, but there's definitely like extended breaks of them just kind of hanging on a rhythmic pattern and kind of jamming on top of it.
Yeah, I mean, I like that first song on that album, whatever it's called. They also have super weird
Is
names.
that breakage?
I think it's Breakage on the. It's the
Yeah.
first one.
Damn. Who do I want to see collaborate?
Or even just Machine Girl and like I don't know, like Earl Sweatshirt or something. That'd be really
That
cool.
would be
like
cool.
a rapper over the kind of hyper pop, like breakbeat stuff. That'd be
Yeah.
fun.
Is Machine Girl doing anything now?
Yeah, they're playing, dude. I'm gonna be gone, but they're playing the Caverns, and you should go to that in Tennessee.
That would be.
It's 100 Gex and Machine Girl.
Whoa.
It's like September 16th or something.
Huh. Where
I
is
would
it?
love It's in this. It's like the Cavern like venue
Oh, yeah.
in Tennessee.
Whoa, that's odd.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Chris Cohen and Will.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah,
That's a must. That's just inevitable though.
that'll happen.
Yeah.
Who's Chris Cohen?
I love Chris Cohen. He's one of my favorite artists. He has an album called Overgrown Path that is like very close to my heart.
Gotcha.
So he was being nice because he knows I love it.
Well, let's set it up.
Yeah.
Is
Chris, if you're out there,
One of these
Chris,
days.
if you're listening, is that it? Is that all 5?
there's your bowl.
Thank
Can we
for the
ask you
bowl.
one?
You got one for me?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, let me see the.
Oh, yeah, from the bowl. Yeah. You mean the universe says asking me one?
Yeah, I love the universe.
Can you ask you one?
Yeah.
That was the tournament.
Oh, that's the ripped up one. Yeah. Somebody halfway did it, and then I yelled at them. Is probably what happened.
That one that doesn't contextually fit. Okay, yeah, 3 Desert Island albums.
You know, funny enough, no one's gotten this question yet.
Oh,
so now
perfect.
I'm the
Yeah,
first
nice,
one.
nice.
3 Desert Island albums. Funny enough, 2 of them are on here. Blonde and
Ad
Nauseam.
And Ad Nauseam, yes. The one, the sleeper.
didn't say it,
Yeah, I was like, do I go for it? The sleeper in Rainbows, I guess, if I have to pick one over Ad Nauseam, then that would be it. But yeah, I feel like In Rainbows has to be in there because that is one of the very few albums that I can genuinely say for me is a no skip album. Because sometimes I'll say, oh, it's a perfect album, but there might be one song that I'm like, I get tired of halfway through. You know, that's not technically perfect if we're gonna get real, like, real diligent about the word. So I feel like even Blonde, like, I think is one of my favorite albums of all time. And
Yeah, with
there's
that one interlude.
there's like an interlude, you know,
Yeah,
a
we're
couple
skipping
interludes.
that.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't need the Facebook interlude.
Yeah.
You know, I don't need it.
Do you know who that is?
I have no idea.
I have heard that it's he's I'm blanking on his name right now. He's like, it's Young Lean.
Really?
I've heard it's Young Lean.
Interesting. I hope that's true.
You should look it up and
Yeah.
if it's true,
Facebook.
confirm it right here.
Yeah, it's
And if it's not, say he's wrong. Like with
Yeah,
an
we'll
arrow.
have the little asterisk
Yeah.
pop up.
Yeah, In Rainbows is good, but I prefer Parachutes.
By Coldplay?
It's just their better album.
Right. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Yes, it is. I will say I was a huge Coldplay fan back in the day. The
Parachutes
Coldplay
is
to
a great
Radiohead
record.
pipeline is real.
It's real.
That is very real.
You know,
Yeah.
when I was young, I was a huge Coldplay fan, and I saw
That
them.
one and Rush of Blood to the Head and XY are all killer records. And even Viva La Vida is a great record.
Yeah.
And Kid A.
And Kid A.
Kid A. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, Kid A though. Okay, I know you asked me.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to pick one right
So
now.
hold on, it would be In Rainbows Blonde, and then, I mean, it might just have to be My Bloody Valentine, Loveless, but I don't know if that's too. I don't know if I'm not expanding.
Yeah,
You
It
know,
might be a
that's
little
fair.
bleak on a desert island, too.
That
It'd be a
is
little
true.
bleak. I feel like I do need something fun.
That album's weirdly
Cheryl
uplifting in a way,
Crow.
though.
That'd be good on a
Just
desert
like
island.
just has like
That'd be cool.
a vibe shift,
Yeah.
from like
Just
the
like,
sad shit.
Jimmy Buffett.
Right. Yeah, I mean, set the mood. You know, we're on an
Wasting
island.
away again.
So yeah, maybe some Frank Ocean, some Radiohead, and then Jimmy Buffett, just to
round it out.
just to
Just to
switch
round
it
it
up.
out.
Yeah. What about you? Come on, now I gotta know what y'all say.
Oh man, I don't know.
I'd probably put Loaded on there.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good pick.
Yeah, by
Who's
Velvet
Loaded by?
Underground.
Oh yeah. Which
And
album cover is that?
that's
The red.
Yeah, one with the
Sunset thing.
Oh, okay.
I actually don't know exactly what it is now that I'm thinking about it. I've always just kind of glanced at it. Is it a sunset?
Man.
It's not the
banana.
subway coming out. The like smoke coming out of the subway.
Maybe
It is. It is. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
It's smoke. It is smoke. Yeah, yeah.
Man.
It's like the pink smoke. Like
Right.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Took me a minute.
I know the colors. And
That one
right.
though, yeah, that's one of my favorites by them. So, and that would be a good desert island listen because there's just so much on it. I feel
Yeah.
like, and then what
White Album might have been.
Oh, I was about to say definitely a Beatles album. Actually, no, Ram.
Ram.
Yeah.
Yeah. We talked about Ram with Sex Cells.
Oh, I love Ram. Yeah, Ram, Loaded, and
Patsy Cline greatest hits.
honestly though,
I don't know any Patsy Cline.
ooh, you got to listen
gotta get on it.
to the one where the backing band is the Supremes, the
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
the singers on there like are
That's
doing
so
the
It's a whole album.
yeah, it's
okay.
I think it's like literally like it's like a comp of a bunch of shit, but that's like the definitive version of Crazy's on that one.
Let me look it up.
Walking After Midnight.
How like is she country? Why do I think she's
Yeah,
is
she
she
is,
country?
yeah. She's like
Okay.
50s.
Because I really
country.
don't know her. I just know the name. You know.
Oh,
She's a
I
hero.
love Patsy.
She's a hero.
Wow. What album was the one you were talking about? Walking After Midnight.
No,
The album, it's the album thing is kind of difficult
Oh,
with
yeah.
with stuff like this because they did a lot of
Showcase.
the Jordanaires, not the Supremes. The Jordanaires are on the band on it.
yeah, I feel like
it's so good.
music in that time period. They did a ton of comps where they would like basically have the same songs or like a couple different songs, and then they would like re-release them as like I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. It was the record industry.
Right.
They had to have some shit to sell.
Yeah. It's
But
crazy
that-
how much it changed.
Yeah, that's a good choice. You know me better than I know myself.
Well, when you lived together for like what 5 years?
I think it's been about 15 at this point.
But who's counting?
Who's counting?
Well, Telemarket. Let's wrap it up. Adam and Will, thank you guys for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, man.
Thanks for having
It's
us.
been a blast. Thank you for the Ad Nauseam album, which is coming out October 26th.
August 25th.
Why did I say October? August 25th.
They both got that
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
That's what it
Right.
was.
Time is relative.
Yeah. I mean, we're everywhere all at once. What is it? Everything everywhere all at once.
34,
But yeah,
34 minutes and 34 seconds about repeating yourself.
about repeating yourself.
Ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum.
Ad nauseum.
Get it?
Ad nauseam.
August 25th, and also come out to 40 Watt
On the 26th.
on the
yeah.
26th, and
Boggs on the 27th.
27th.
Yes,
Hell yeah.
indeed.
Thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate it. I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you again for tuning into the newest episode of On That Note with Parker Whirling. Remember, not only can you listen to the episodes on Apple Podcast and Spotify, but you can also watch the episodes on my YouTube channel, which is linked in the description below. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time.